Hello, my name is Curtis Mattingly. It is currently June 29th, 2024. The class is FTH 212 Striker Fired Pistols. We are on week 5, and the assignment is pretty much going over everything we have been doing in the last 5 weeks. Alright, part 1. Oh, first off, no magazine, no round in the chamber, clear, and no ammunition. Again, sleeping dog. But part 1, first I'm going to go with recoil spring. Just make sure that's not bent or bent or broken or anything like that, because that can definitely cause jams, several other malfunctions. I would say the feed ramp, if that has any burrs, it can definitely cause some issues. The chamber, if it's out of spec, that could definitely cause extraction issues. Let's see here. The firing pin. That's something I learned recently. I had one break on me. It turned into a single shot, and then it stopped any indentions on the primer. So, and yeah, that was another build, Glock clone build. So another one would be the ejector. Obviously, if it's not ejecting or erratically ejecting, you might want to take a look at that, and maybe replace some parts. Extractor in there. If it's not extracting, obviously it's going to cause all kinds of failures. You name it. So next would be the trigger. If it's not resetting, there's definitely some. Take a look at the trigger shoe, make sure everything is in the right place, and nothing's bent or spring broken. That's about all I can really say about that. Now, part 2. Number 1 would be stippling. I wasn't looking forward to it at first, but I kind of fell in love with it. Meaning, it wasn't necessarily the benefits of it. It was just fun to do for some reason. Like putting a puzzle together or something like that. So I plan on buying new tips, heat gun tips, and practicing a lot with it. Number 2, the sights, installing them. It varies on different striker firearms, but kind of getting more of an idea of the correct way of sighting or putting the sights in. So in the future, I plan on getting better tools, non-marring tools, and stuff like that, or even a sight pusher, and do it correctly. Number 3, also just in general, just putting it together. I mean, I have put other Glock style together, pistols together, but nothing with roll pins, as many roll pins. So just make sure I'm doing it correctly and not destroying the roll pins. Be honest with you, I am going to see if I can replace roll pins and kind of go more traditional, just because of roll pins are not always the best, I don't think. 4, I would have to say, again, while putting together the slide release, um, that really was kind of complicated to install. The spring was a little bent. Also, just lining it up correctly for the trigger pin. 5. So the trigger pin or the trigger pin and the slide release, mainly just trying to learn new tricks. Maybe get some tools to help with that in the future. Another one would be installing the mag release. Was a little difficult, very stiff. Mag release isn't the greatest in the world, so in the future I plan on replacing that. So 6, I would have to say, I learned a little bit, about polishing feed ramps, and making sure your feed ramps are in like kind of smooth, and what to do if they're not. I know it's been a complaint during the course, but I kind of understand it in a way. I know due to liability, but how I learned a little bit more while doing this course. Just different type of trigger styles, like the hinged or the other one with your Glock, your basic Glock style. So 6. Another thing I learned. With the trigger, just kind of going back and practicing with different triggers and how to install it, and doing research. So 7. I want to say 7. I would say the back plate, the one provided by PSA, is not very good. So finding a better back plate for future project. 8. I want to say the magwell. How much life can reloads can be easier with magwells. So I'm gonna play around a little bit more on magwells and what I can do to improve things. 9. I would have to say learning how to use the go no go gauge. I mean, it wasn't really that complicated, but I've never done it with striker fired pistols, so it's good to learn that. Also, lastly, 10 is learning how to properly clean and lubricate a striker fired pistol, and so I'm just going to keep on looking for better products to help with that. Part 3. One modification I know of that I really want to replace is the mag release. I'd like to make this modification basically because it's really cheap plastic, and I want something with texture. That one modification would probably take about 5 minutes if I had the proper tools. The new mag release that I want, along with probably a flathead screwdriver that would work properly, would cost around $20. If I were to do it for a customer, I would charge $50. After contacting a local gun shop that does modifications on Glocks, called Crossfire Firearms in Lexington, South Carolina, they said that they will do that job, parts, materials, everything, for $75.